This experiment is about charging and discharging of a capacitor. So, in this circuit, we'll have an RC circuit. So, firstly, let's discuss what an RC circuit is. An RC circuit is a circuit with a resistor and a capacitor connected in series with a voltage source, that is our battery eliminator. And this circuit operates by basically the capacitor is allowed to charge to the maximum voltage of our source, and as the voltage across the capacitor increases with time, the voltage across the resistor will decrease. Now normally if you connect a capacitor to a DC source, it will get charged very quickly, but the resistor here is basically to slow down this charging so that we can measure the process and find the time constant. Now what is time constant? It's denoted by tau, and it's theoretically equal to the product of R and C. But in our RC circuit, the time constant practically is the time when the charge in the capacitor becomes 63.2% of the maximum charge when you are charging, and at the same time it's also equal to 36.8% of the full value of the charge in the discharging cycle. So tau is the time constant, and what we have to find in this experiment is the value of tau. So the formula that we'll be using in this experiment is basically percentage of charging is equal to voltage across capacitor by maximum voltage into 100%. So this basically gives us how much charge has been accumulated across the capacitor when compared to the net maximum possible charge. Now this is important to be found so that we can verify that the tau of our circuit is matching to the theoretical value of tau, and if it's not matching, why? We have to find out why. So before we start connecting the circuit, there's a few things that we have to note down, which is the maximum voltage in the source or the supply voltage, which I had as 3 volts, and then the capacitance used in the circuit, which the lab attendant will tell us, and also the resistance used in the circuit. It might even be written on the circuit component, so you have to find that out. And then we have to calculate the theoretical tau, which is R into C. Guys. Okay, so let's connect the circuit. We start with the battery. So the positive of the battery firstly will go to K1. Then the other terminal of K1 will go to, first it'll go to the resistor. This is a resistor and this thing is the capacitor, and the resistor's other terminal will be connected already to the capacitor, so that's nothing to be done. The capacitor should be having a voltmeter connected in parallel across its terminals. So the positive terminal of the capacitor is the one that is shared with the resistor, so that one should go to positive of the voltmeter. Then the negative of the voltmeter, the black wire, will go to the negative of the capacitor. Then the capacitor will connect to the K2, and the same terminal of K2, as you can see in the diagram, the same terminal of K2 that's connected to capacitor will also connect to the battery. So we connect the same terminal to the negative of the battery. At the same time, the second terminal of K2 will go to K1 to the terminal that goes towards the resistor. That's all. Let's start. Okay, so now that we are done with the circuit, one very important thing that you have to remember: never ever keep the keys plugged into the key is plugged in, because when you plug in both K1 and K2, it will short the circuit, and that's very bad because the apparatus will get messed up. So do not plug them in. And as we do the experiment, we have to plug in K1 and K2 separately and never together. Okay, and when you have switched it on, you can keep both of them unplugged to see no difference. So now we have to do charging, and for that we need to take the time. For every 10 seconds we have to note down the voltmeter readings. So I'm connecting a stop clock, and for the charging, so basically when you unplug K2 and plug in K1, this circuit gets closed and the battery starts to charge the capacitor. But because the capacitor will charge very rapidly, we have a resistor connected to the circuit to decrease the speed so that we can realistically take readings of time. Okay, so now I will plug in K1 and immediately start the stop clock. Okay, so you can see the voltmeter reading is 0. It says minus, but it's 0. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. And you can see that the readings are increasing. So 0.29 for 10 seconds, 0.49 for 20 seconds, and so on. So you can continue to take the readings like this from 0 to up to 200. I have taken up to 200, but what we have to do is we'll reach some peak value of the current. So, voltage. So when you reach that peak value for a few 7, 8 consecutive readings, that's when you have to stop taking time readings. Okay, so the maximum of the current value has reached 1.5, and now we can start the discharging table readings. So what we have to do is, I have reset the stop clock, and now you have to just take out K1 and at the same time plug in K2 and start the stop clock. So yeah, now we've started it, and you can see the current voltage values are reducing, and for every 10 seconds we repeat the same process. We take the values of voltage, except it starts with the highest and it keeps reducing for every 10 seconds. In the same way, after a few readings you will reach 0 because the capacitor will be completely discharged. So when you get 7, 8 readings of 0, you can stop taking time readings. Now that we've filled the first table with the charging and discharging time and voltage, we have to fill the second table, which basically finds out the percentage of charge at each stage in the charging and discharging cycles. So we are finding it for the following times, which is 0.25 times of tau, 0.5 times of tau, then 0.75, then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is important because we need to know at what points in the circuit how much charge is being accumulated across the capacitor. Now theoretically, at time is equal to tau, we should have 63% charge while charging and 43%, if I'm not wrong, while discharging. But in this experiment, after I calculated the values, you can see that at tau we already had 96% charge while charging, and while discharging we only had 3.84% of charge remaining. So why does this happen? I will explain that. So the formula that we'll be using in this experiment is basically percentage of charging is equal to voltage across capacitor by maximum voltage into 100%. So this basically gives us how much charge has been accumulated across the capacitor when compared to the net maximum possible charge. Now this is important to be found so that we can verify that the tau of our circuit is matching to the theoretical value of tau, and if it's not matching, why? We have to find out why. Okay, so now we'll come to the most important part of the experiment, which is why does it fail? Now the truth is it doesn't actually fail, rather our procedure is right, our theory is right, but the thing here is that our R value is a few 100 kilo ohms, but actually it's 100 kilo ohms, but what happens is that the voltmeter, which is connected in parallel across the capacitor, it has an internal resistance which, when it's connected in parallel, gets connected to the resistor in the circuit, in the RC circuit. And we all know that parallel combination of resistors reduces the net resistance of the circuit. So this drops the value of R, which is why our calculated value of tau is somewhat incorrect. So our procedure was not wrong, rather the internal resistance of the voltmeter is what affects the circuit. Now for plotting the graph, we have to plot voltage on the y-axis and time on the x-axis, and our scale is 10 seconds on the x-axis and 0.1 volts on the y-axis, and for the charging cycle you see an upward exponential curve, whereas for the discharging cycle you see a downward exponential curve. It's pretty straightforward.